Right, so we have kubectl installed. Now let me go ahead and give you a quick Hello World using kubectl, and you see how to create an object within our cluster. So what we're going to do is we want to execute a kubectl command against our API server and let the scheduler and the API do its thing and create a pod for us. So a pod is a collection of one or more containers, and you're going to learn exactly what pods are in detail later in this course. But for now, let me show you how to get an application up and running with Docker. So one container up and running, and then let's take the image and then deploy that to Kubernetes. So let me go back to my terminal, and in here, what I want to do is, so make sure that Docker is up and running, and I want to say Docker and then run and then --rm and then -p and then 80 : and then 80, and on a new line, so I'm going to press \, and you don't have to do this. I'm just doing this because my font is really big. And here, what I want to do is say amigos code / and then Kubernetes and then : and then hello and then world. And you can follow along as well. So basically, I do have this image right here, and I'm missing a D there. So this image right here, which is publicly accessible, and this will give us an Hello World application. But currently, I'm just running it with Docker. So we're not using Kubernetes yet. So let me press enter. And there we go. Now, if you open up any web browser, and right here, I've got Safari, I'm just going to type localhost and check this out. So we have this application right here, and you can see that Kubernetes is awesome. We have the logo, which is spinning, and then we have the Amigos Code logo, and we also have a link in here. But currently, we are running this through Docker, right? So what we're going to do is use Kubernetes. So to use Kubernetes and basically have a pod being created, as in the diagram I've showed you. So in here, so what we want is the same, but a pod with a container in it. So to do that with kubectl is as follows. If I go back to my terminal, and what I'm going to do is, so here I'm going to press Ctrl+C. So this will stop the container. And right here, if I reload, you can see that cannot connect to server. So let's clear the screen. And here, let's type together kubectl and then run and then hello world. So this is the name. And then I'm going to add a new line. So you don't have to do this again. I'm just doing it because my font is really big. So \, and then enter, and then say -- and then image equals, and then Amigos Code, so the same image name, / and then Kubernetes, and then : hello - and then world. And then we also want to say, so on a new line, -- and then port equals to 80. And the port here is the port that the container is listening on. So here, if I press enter, you can see that pod and then hello world created. So this command right here created our pod, and the pod name is hello world. And again, a pod is simply a collection of one or more containers, and more on pods later. But now if I type kube and then ctl and then get and then pods, so we want to get all the pods, you can see that we have this pod name hello world ready, 1 out of 1. The status is running, 0 restarts, and the age is 34 seconds, which is really nice. Now, in order for us to access the application within our pod, there are a couple of ways that we can do this, but for now, let's just use port forwarding, which is only meant for testing purposes. But later in this course, you'll see how we use services to access our application. So here, let's just type for now kubectl and then port dash and then forward, and then say pod / and then the name of the pod, so hello world. And then from the host, we want to map 8080 to and then 80 inside of that container. Now, if I press enter, you can see that we have forwarding and then localhost 8080 to 80. Now let's go and open up the web browser once more. And before, remember, so we just typed localhost, and this time let's type localhost and then 8080. If I press enter, check this out. So you can see that our application has been successfully deployed using Kubernetes. So this is a quick hello world, and just to tell you that, so in here, let's just cancel out of this, and basically if I reload, you can see that it doesn't work anymore, and there you have it. So if I clear the screen and then type get pods once more, so kubectl get pods, you see that we have our pod in here. And if we want to delete the pod, let's just say kubectl and then delete and then pod and then hello dash and then world. So you can see that the API that comes with kubectl, it's really easy to learn. So kubectl delete pod hello world. Just give it a second. There we go. If I type kubectl get pods, and you can see that no resources found in default namespace. And you're going to learn about namespaces later as well. There you have it. You managed to deploy your first application using Kubernetes. If you have any questions, drop me a message. Otherwise, let's move on.